not taking that.
Mom, I'm taking the Subaru.
Don't be late.
Even when we're not there to keep them safe, our Subaru Outback will be.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Welcome back. I'm Katie Tur with a look at today's Trump-free headlines at the half. Take a look at this eye-opening video out of Florida. There you see it, a home getting swallowed whole by a sinkhole. It happened near Tampa. In all, 2 homes were destroyed. The sinkhole is more than 200 feet wide and 50 feet deep. Water testing is underway right now to ensure the drinking water in the area is still safe. Delta Airlines is pushing back against conservative commentator Ann Coulter after she went on a tweet storm against the airline for making her move from a seat with extra legroom. She tweeted that Delta hires people who seek to be prison guards, animal handlers, or East German police. Subtle. Delta fired back by refunding her $30 fee and called her actions, quote, unacceptable and unnecessary. And Roger Federer is once again a champion. He won his 8th title at Wimbledon. He now has 19 Grand Slam titles in all. That's a lot. He talked about it this morning on the Today Show.
I won the first one here 14 years ago, and it's so long ago now that I'm like not even sure how it felt anymore. I just remember it was like the total dream come true, whereas this time around I came in as the favorite, and things were different this time around, and I'm a father of 4, and I don't know, it's just it's crazy, and it feels so amazing.
Can we just do a whole hour about Roger Federer? Guys, what do you think?
I love it.
Yes. Whole hour, Roger Federer, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Moving on, this week, one of Nevada's most infamous inmates will ask a parole board to set him free. That inmate, OJ Simpson. He was in prison nearly a decade ago on robbery and kidnapping charges involving 2 Vegas sports memorabilia dealers. And at this Thursday's hearing, which is expected to be, of course, why wouldn't it be, televised, the former football star will be able to speak in his own defense. Joining me now is Paul Henderson, veteran prosecutor and legal analyst, and Dave Zirin, sports editor at The Nation. Paul.
Hey.
We've heard OJ is a model prisoner. How's that going to play into the board's decision?
It absolutely plays into the board's decision. They are evaluating all of the time that he spent in custody to see, has he availed himself of programs? Has he had problems while he's been in jail? Has he been in fights? Has he participated in all that has been offered to him? And he has. He has participated in educational programs. He has counseled his peers that are there in the jail. He has been what has been described as a model citizen. All of those will be factors that they will be evaluating, as well as things like his age, what his past background has been, whether or not he has been employed in the past, does he have a place to go back to. All of these things are being evaluated and are actually lining up in his favor in this situation for him to be evaluated favorably for release.
Dave, what happens if he is released? How's the reaction?
You mean after his ceremonial dinner at the White House, which will probably happen within 48 hours of release? No, just kidding there. But it would not shock you, and that's the crazy things about the times in which we live. Look, I think what's going to happen is he will be released, and when he is released, he's going to have a series of options that will be on that reality TV gravy train up and down the coast, because OJ guarantees eyeballs and he guarantees money, especially in the aftermath of the award-winning, Emmy-winning show on FX and the Oscar-winning show Made in America that was produced, of course, by ESPN. Which is amazing. But well, I'll tell you what it also does, and it is amazing. What it also does, though, is it gives cover for ESPN this Thursday to be the main broadcasting place that will show on all of their networks the OJ Simpson parole hearing. It's just part of, the last chapter of this project. But he's going to get paroled because, I mean, this is the part of this that actually matters, is that this was an actual miscarriage of justice. And I think Paul would agree. I mean, a 33-year sentence for what OJ did was so clearly linked to the $33 million in the civil suit that OJ Simpson owed the Goldman and Brown family that he said he would never pay. And this was a case of a Nevada criminal court picking up the slack for a California civil court and offering what OJ's attorney Carl Douglas called fifth quarter justice.
Well, Paul,
that is true.
With that?
I do agree, even though the judge claimed over and over that this had nothing to do with his previous encounters with the law, where he was acquitted. But 2 points that I want to make. So even though we're having this hearing this week, he is not going to be released this week. They will give notice and tell us what their decision is, but that release wouldn't take place until October. And the interesting thing that was just brought up in terms of the money and what he will be earning or what is possible for him, because he's going to be released, if he's released, with a number of restrictions. He's still going to be on parole, so he still will not be allowed to be with any other felons. He may have a GPS device in case he's traveling around. He has to get permission if he's going to leave the state. But to the degree that he can earn money, what's going to happen to that money, I think, is really interesting, because let's not forget that there is a civil judgment against him that is going to last forever. He still owes $33.5 million to the Browns and to the Goldman estate. And so any money that he can make, regardless of how he makes it, is going to be confiscated and taken, for the most part, for that restitution, because that will be a condition if he's out. He's still going to have some money from his pension, because remember, the pension that he earned while he was in the NFL, while he was in SAG, that's going to go to him, and that money has just been stacking. So when he gets out, he's going to have a sizable amount of money that can't be touched by that civil judgment. But if he gets a book deal, if he gets a TV deal, if he is touring, the money that he's going to be generating and earning for himself will in large part have to go to that settlement, because it's never going away. And the Browns and the Goldmans are not going to let that judgment against him stand on the sidelines. They want every bit of that money.
Way they would let that stand. Absolutely
not. They are waiting to see if someone gives him a contract, or if he makes any money, as they did with the book. Remember, he did the book, and they attached and got all the rights to that book to get that money.
My feelings, though, is that $33 million in this media climate in 2017 might be far less of a mountain to climb than it would have been 10, 20 years ago for OJ Simpson, especially in the wake of the FX and ESPN documentaries.
We'll see, guys.
I think it's really going to depend on how the public is going to accept him, too, though. You know, and I don't know how excited people are going to be to see OJ as a celebrity again.
They're screaming in my ear. I got to go. I got to go. I can't even hear your questions. They're just screaming in my ear.
Let's talk Roger Federer.
Veteran prosecutor Paul Henderson and sports editor for The Nation, Dave Zirin. We can talk about this forever, guys. Thank you very much.
Oh, for sure. Thanks for having us.
Despite arrests earlier, protesters are refusing to be deterred and are mining other spots on Capitol Hill to try and denounce the Republican efforts to repeal Obamacare. We're keeping an eye on that. But first, while you were not looking, a new Air Wars investigation for the Daily Beast came out today, and it reveals that civilian casualties in the fight against ISIS are on pace to double under President Trump. Researchers say roughly 2,300 innocent people, that includes kids, died from coalition airstrikes in Iraq and Syria under the